on, Gary. Say it.
There's gonna be a story tomorrow about me.
Hello everyone, my name is Don, the movie reviewer, and today we're going to be talking about The Front Runner. Jason Reitman directs this movie, and Jason Reitman directed one of my favorite movies starring George Clooney and Anna Kendrick called Up in the Air. The way Jason Reitman directs this movie, he has a very sharp eye and it feels like he's a competent director and he knows exactly what he's doing, because from the very opening scene he captures these shots that immerses me into the experience as an audience member. He pans around the chaos that's happening within the political race, and it's extremely chaotic. It puts me in the perspective of all of these people who are caught in the midst of all this chaos, and the way Jason Reitman handles it, the way he shoots it, directs it, is fantastic. I love the shots that he takes in this movie. It's absolute perfection. Not only is the directing in here competent and fantastic, but the music that plays in this movie during a lot of the scenes are great. They definitely immerse me in the experience as an audience member. So with the directing and the music coming together, it's perfection 100%. And on top of the music and the directing being good, the acting in here from everybody is extraordinary. We have Hugh Jackman in here who plays Gary Hart, and Hugh Jackman, I would say maybe he's going for an Oscar here, but it's not an Oscar-worthy performance, but nonetheless he does deliver an exceptional performance as the main character. We have Mamadou Ati, who plays AJ Parker, and I recognize this guy from the movie Patty Cakes last year. It's good to see him here, and I feel like he got a lot of screen time. We get a couple of moments with his character where he's talking to Hugh Jackman's Gary Hunt, and it seems like they have a meeting of the minds or a butting of the heads in this movie, where the AJ Parker character is asking Gary Hart some very intense questions. J.K. Simmons is in this movie, and J.K. Simmons needs no introduction because J.K. Simmons is a phenomenal actor, and no question about it, he acts his ass off in this movie. And I would say one of the best scenes in this movie is a shouting, arguing match between Hugh Jackman and J.K. Simmons. It is the highlight acting performance in this movie from two great actors, and especially from an extraordinary actor like J.K. Simmons. In 1988, Gary Hart was the front runner for the presidential nomination, but unfortunately, due to some allegations, he had to drop out of the race. I didn't know who Gary Hart was before I saw this movie, and watching this movie, you can say that it asks some questions about certain procedures that politicians and newspapers and just any media outlets run today. I believe this movie asks a series of questions, number one being, who would you want to be the face of your country? Would you want the person who is the face of your country be an adulterer? Some people would say no, some people would say yes. Some people who say no, I don't want this guy in office, it makes sense, because if he's willing to cheat on his wife, then what other kinds of dirty things could he be doing? And for the people that say, no, I don't care about him being an adulterer, I just care about the issues, and I guess he's a perfect representation of the things that I want changed. Gary Hart, the Hugh Jackman character in this movie, seemed like he didn't want to take responsibility for his actions. Every time someone brought up the question about, what he was doing, he would just immediately try to shut them down and claim he's the victim. At least that's what they portrayed him as in the movie, and it seemed like, he was just the guy who didn't want to fess up to his mistakes.
Now you see now, you done fucked up, you know that, don't you?
I really wanted more depth with him and his wife. I really wanted more of an in-depth personal view of his home life with his kids, his wife, his family. Who is he as a husband? His wife comes in and she's, putting her foot down, but it didn't really have an emotional impact. I would say that politics today, the way it's portrayed on TV and in social media, it feels like a bit of a joke or like a celebrity contest. Because when you have these candidates and they're all trying to win, a lot of them will take shots at each other and create these advertisements and make all these claims about, oh, the person is not good because XYZ, and then they all counter-react that and then say, don't trust this person because of XYZ, and it just seems like a shouting match back and forth about who's the dirtiest, and they want to get dirt on each other, and they want to release it to the public so the public can look at them and be like, oh, the person's doing all these horrible things. And it's just like, just find out for yourself. And then the only way you'll be able to find out for yourself is if you dig in deep and investigate the person and see if they're fighting for the issues that you think need to be fought for. I like this movie. All the elements worked in here, the directing, the acting, the music. The story was intense and engaging, and the only negative thing I can say is that I wish there was more development with him and his wife, just so once we have the reveal of him being an adulterer, it would have packed a more emotional punch, which I feel like it didn't because I didn't really know anything about his home life. And that's all I have to say. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.